our last match, so our Draw 5 has not started yet. We'll be back about the second end to bring you live commentary and updates. I already got them the beer. Now I gotta drink mine.
Hey, good call. So, I'll help out with 1 o'clock draw?
You can have it with this one.
Well, I'm playing on this one.
Oh, how about, yeah. Because I'm playing in the 130, so you can, we'll show you the stuff and that'll be it.
Yeah, I think I remember some of it last year. Then yeah, we
Show
have
the
a
new control panel.
It's a quick primer when I get off.
The big prize comes in a small box. But Richard, if you could open it up and read the two things that are in there with your prize.
Who's in the shot?
Should we all back up?
Yes.
Yeah, it was your shot.
It was your double.
Four 7-Eleven gift cards for big gulps. 4 McDonald's gift cards for I think it would be a good plan for you to babysit me
Like the
during.
tents are.
That's what I'm doing.
Okay.
All right. So,
Tell me what to do.
well, I'm going to demo a rock.
Yeah, show me. That's probably better. Here, you want some more?
I thought you were
Thanks.
It's good for you.
So,
Vince.
first, let's confirm the
Drink that.
colors.
No,
Why?
I don't know what it is.
Bourbon.
I don't
It's really good.
No, it's before the game.
Vince likes bourbon.
Vince does like bourbon.
I understand that.
Okay.
So,
I have my harmonicas in the car. You want me to get them? I can play.
no need
We
yet.
need a theme song, maybe. It's good, isn't it? From Fredericksburg. We're getting them to come up and do a demo.
Nice.
Yeah.
Do they make themselves?
They do.
But it's not
Well,
bourbon.
No. Well, yeah, right. It's Virginia.
Virginia corn mash whiskey.
Right.
So,
Okay.
Bourbon is
we have our scoreboard layer,
Right. Or Tennessee, depending on who you ask.
and controlling the scoreboard
throwing, it's yellow, so it'll be this one.
Correct. Yellow is next. So, call's made. Switch. Prep
Crap.
and get ready to click.
I'm ready.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. We are broadcasting live from the Potomac Curling Club here at our Big Spiel. Our Big Spiel is our internal spiel designed to foster communication and get new people to meet the old people and have a little bit of fun, too. I'm your commentator, Michael Dobbs. I'm joined by our operator, Mike Chirillo. And apparently that was close enough. Didn't get it quite right. And today we are featuring here in Draw 5, Team Hat against Team Brooms, Sweat, and Beer. The skip for Team Hat is Elizabeth Andrew. The vice is Gilad Kempenich. The second is Andrew Diller, and the lead is Morgan Haskell. For Brooms, Sweat, and Beer, they are throwing the yellow rocks. Skip is Pete Morelowitz. Vice, Karen Rojoski. Second, Rob Aguilar. And lead, Paige Roberts. We are here in the third end. The score currently sits at 4-2 something. We're not quite sure what the result of the second end was. So I'm being told that at the end of the second end, yellow hung 2 points. We'll get that updated as soon as we can. We're set to throw the first of the skips rocks here. Pete throwing his first rock. He's going for a promote, trying to promote and into the forefoot. Hits the rock a little outside, winds up nudging the red rock even further closer to the tee line. click on it again to dial it out. Turn off throwing. That was because when you came back, you clicked on it, and that turned it off. And then you hit F5, so you cut to nothing.
How do I put the score for the second?
So, 2, which is yellow. So click in here. No, current hammer is still 1. So here, delete the 0, type in 2, and hit enter. Always got to hit enter after you type a change.
Red that's going to be thrown.
Mm-hmm.
And as soon as the skips are finished doing whatever.
Yep. So we do have a special thing going on this end. It's called the box game. So at the beginning of this draw, nobody has the box. Any team that makes a clean draw to the 4-foot or makes a double takeout gets to scream, "Box!" And then they put the box by their rocks on their sheet. When the first game of this draw shakes, then whoever has the box at that point wins the big prize, because this is the big spiel. And you can't have a big spiel without a big prize.
It's a big prize. Giant even. See, that's how I'm helpful. Like that. Not helpful, probably.
Absolutely helpful. So Skip has made the call. The rock is away. Liz Andrew with her first rock of this third end.
Coming in pretty hot. Thing's going fast, man. Yeah, whack. Oh, wow.
Moves 2 rocks. Cleared the guards, opening it up for Broom, Sweat, and Beer to try and do something, but really put their own rock just next to Yellow's. Yellow's still looking at that promote, but it's now a very narrow option with what Team Hat just did. And I have to admit, folks, Liz Andrews wearing a very nice hat for Team Hat.
I don't think I throwed that rock for them.
For Rosemary, Team Chin won the box in draw 4.
I need to, like...
It looks like the call is still a raise for Team Broom, Sweat, and Beer.
Pete's got a nice hat, too. I think it's a RG3 hat. I don't know if you really want to do that. Is that going to work? There you go. I'll try to keep it clean.
Pete throwing his rock. The ice here has been pretty keen. The rock's slowing. They're about to lose the line. Looks like Pete's going to wind up throwing a guard, just trying to cut the damage down. Pete did not have the hammer, so he's trying to prevent Team Hat from getting 2.
Which it looks like I can't tell, really. Let's see if we can look. Yeah, it looks like they're only getting 1 right now. Right?
So right now, Team Hat is sitting first. They're the Red Rocks. Team Broom, Sweat, and Beer is sitting second shot, with Team Hat sitting 3rd, 4th, and 5th. So if Team Hat can somehow get that yellow rock out, they have a chance of getting 4 or 5 here, which would give them just a dominating lead going into the 4th end.
If they do that, Dobbs, I call witchcraft on that.
You want that meter to hit 0.
Yeah, I know how meters work. I didn't know we had one. So I got to be louder, I guess. do that. Yeah, all right. How's that?
That's better.
Yeah, okay.
Liz Andrew here with the hammer in her nice purple hat. Looks like she's off to a black church.
Yeah, right.
I turned my mic off for that one.
Why? That was funny.
Liz Andrew going for something here. Looks like she's going for a double.
That's coming in awfully high.
Oh, yeah. Not going to get the double. Trying to chip it out. Might flash by. Move some. Oh, no!
Whack!
Winds up putting both of her own rocks out, and Broom's Sweat and Beer winds up with a steal of 1 in the third end to bring this game a little closer. Liz has got a smile on her face, but she can't be happy with that. So, yellow got 1.
Yeah.
So, delete.
That'll work, huh?
No. 1. Enter.
Stupid Mac.
No, because it's the way I programmed it. And you already advanced the tracker, so you're good. So now, reset the stones. And we're set for the next one. It's actually, queue up mid-far is the next one. Clip that one. Okay. Just leave it. There you go. Okay, that's good. So, beginning of the fourth end here. Lead Paige Roberts throwing the first rock. Pete has to be really pleased with how he wound up stealing in that end.
Yeah, it's pretty lucky.
Sometimes you get lucky, and hey, it counts in curling.
Getting lucky counts in other things, too.
Ooh, baby.
I was talking about the lottery, Dobbs.
Ooh, baby, lottery. Yeah, I kept wishing I won that Powerball prize.
You know, they say you can wish in one hand, something else in the other. See which one fills
Come
up
on,
first.
man. Let's keep it a little clean here.
That's clean. I didn't say it, you know.
You and I both know that was not clean.
Something's happening. I totally missed it.
Just like these sweepers. They're not cleaning this rock at all.
Yeah, there you go. Good recovery.
All right, they come onto it, trying to make it a really tight guard. And it winds up going into the house. Nothing they could do to stop it. So, with the first rocks for both teams thrown, lead Paige Roberts is going to throw her second rock.
If they had some pocket sand, that would have been good.
Please, that would definitely not be in the spirit of curling.
Well, you don't know. I mean, pocket sand's pretty useful. You can stop a lot of rocks with it.
I mean, come on, they're not Team Cheater.
No.
We're playing them next, so I know they're not
We're
Team
going to
Cheater.
have them on live later.
I hope so.
Yeah. We invite all the heckling you want for that one. I'd have to hit that. I'm not going to do that.
Broom, Sweat, and Beers winds up coming into the house. Liz is calling for the takeout on the yellow rock in the 8-foot. Oh, it looks like they burned the rock.
That rock. It's on fire.
Ouch.
Right. Told you to be careful putting this microphone near me.
Fortunately, you're still speaking too far away.
Yeah, right. Good.
This is why we want the headsets.
Yeah. Make a compelling argument for headsets.
How many people you got watching?
All of us. We're all watching.
Rosemary, do your homework.
That guest comment
That was
brought
a
to you
good
by Mr.
shot.
John Hale.
That was a pretty good shot.
Indeed. Hits and sits. Yellow is currently sitting 2 in the house. They're both completely exposed. So Liz should be able to do a hit and roll.
I don't like my rocks being exposed, Dobbs. It's all NPR level clean.
I'm getting so.
Why? This is legit.
Team Hat throwing a rock.
I don't think they threw that as hard as they wanted to.
No, I think they threw it just right.
Ooh.
They're going to hit and roll, and the skip sweeps yellow right out of the house. Perfect control shot. They didn't quite get behind cover.
Her rock's still sitting up, poking out the side.
You can probably see about 2/3 of that from the hack, folks.
Yeah, I think so.
Pete's going after it. Rob comes out of the hack pretty fast here. Sweepers are on it, almost out of his hand.
It's coming in hot.
Sweepers come up. They're going to get the hit. And spills out. Can Pete sweep the red rock out? Yes, he does. With a little leg kick at the end. Woo!
Give that leg a broom.
Second, Andrew with his second rock. They're looking to pop this yellow rock a little bit.
Oh, they're really sweeping hard there, aren't they?
Yeah, they were trying to push it further outside the house, but
they
they
got
just
enough on it.
they just promoted it to the 4-foot.
Say thank you. Thank you.
I know I said thank you many, many, many times to my sweepers when I was throwing rocks. Sometimes you just got to bow down to the sweeper.
Sometimes you got to say thank you to the other team.
As Pete did at the third end.
As Pete did, yeah. Or as we tried to in our game. But you won anyway.
Indeed.
Yeah.
Vice Karen throwing her rock. Her first rock of this fourth end.
That's a fluffy bunny.
That is indeed a fluffy bunny. They're going to leave it as a nice two fluffy bunny.
Yeah. A little bit coarser than the bunny they intended, but, you know, came over a little further. That's all right, though.
Bunny's definitely a little fatter than they thought. It's a 3 bunny, not a 2 bunny.
Right. Well, 3 bunnies is a lot of bunnies. You might want to back off next time.
Well, Liz is going to ignore it. Going to throw a takeout. She's going to ignore those fluffy bunnies.
Yeah, it's always best to ignore the bunnies.
Well, unless the bunnies are in your way. Then you just run right over them.
Now who's not keeping it clean? You get a lot of angry kids sad about their bunnies.
Fortunately, there's only 4 people watching.
That's all right. Some of them probably have bunnies.
Oh, and that's right. This is archived online. That's right.
Yeah, 5. There are 5 people.
Are you stealing bandwidth while watching it at the same time?
No, I don't stream it. I just watch the chat.
Oh, okay. I was going to say, I'd be like, that's counterintuitive.
Vice Karen preparing to deliver her second rock of this fourth end.
Oh. What's happening? There we go.
A nice controlled takeout. Gets the hit
Le-whack.
and rolls almost behind the red rock, but doesn't quite get there. They're still completely exposed.
Yeah, exposed rocks there, Dobbs. Sometimes I feel like my rocks are exposed, so I try to cover them.
Covering up the rocks is good if they're your rocks.
Yeah, otherwise you got to pay extra.
Well, you know if you don't cover your rocks up, somebody's just going to take them out.
The police were quite clear about that, actually.
Hit and rolls coming in, winds up hitting off her own rock.
Wreck. Whoa, look at that.
Winds up
Beauty.
about halfway under cover. Didn't roll it quite as far as they wanted it to. It overcurled.
Still pretty good shot.
Indeed, I think she would have rather hit the yellow rock instead of her own rock, and she would have rather curled a little further. But, you know, 2 out of 4, maybe.
Maybe, you know, you don't always get what you want,
Amen.
but if you try sometimes. Thanks, Mick.
You guys know if you have any viewers? 5.
Right, there you go. Who's throwing?
So we are down to Skip's rocks here. Team Brooms, Sweat, and Beer does not have the hammer, so their Skip is going first. Pete throwing his rock, looking for the hit and roll. He really needs to clear that red rock out so that Team Hat does not get a chance to block it up. I do want to thank everybody watching and all the people who have subscribed to our feed. We now have 1,700 followers, which is just astounding.
It astounds me there, Dobbs.
There are 1,700 people out there who want to watch curling.
That would be the entire population of Ontario, as far as I understand.
Oh, he hits it a little thin. Winds up.
Maybe a few strays in Minnesota. I don't know. I mean,
So teams Broom, Sweat, and Beer here does manage to hit the yellow rock, and they wind up shot. But Team Hat is still sitting one just outside the 4-foot, and they're pretty well covered. So Team Hat can again try the hit and roll and try and put another one into the 4-foot behind cover.
I like Andrew's hoodie there. It's a good hoodie. Yeah. It says Michigan, for those who can't read. I don't know.
Unfortunately, these are just the pan cameras, not the zoom cameras. Liz delivering her rock. Liz gets the hit and roll, winds up about
She's sitting 2.
60% undercover, I would say.
Yeah.
Actually, that's almost completely covered.
Pretty well covered up there.
So it leaves the draw for Broom, Save, and Beer. Broom, Sweep, and Sweat, and Beer, excuse me. Once again, Team Hat does have the hammer, so they must really like the way this end is developing.
I'd prefer not to have any sweat in my beer.
Well, first you have to have a broom. Then you have to sweat. And since you've sweat with the broom, now you've earned your beer.
I like that. Can I earn a beer now? How about the first viewer to bring me a beer wins?
I think that's an excellent idea.
Yeah.
What do they win?
It's a prize to be determined, possibly a beer.
Beer.
Or at least the honor of drinking the beer with us, you know, in the broadcast booth.
Skip Pete delivering his final rock, sometimes called the gavel.
By who?
Previous webcasters.
I like that. That's
Sweepers
a good
are
one.
on it. They're trying to bring it all the way down to the button. They need to drag it really hard.
They better hustle.
I don't think they're going to get it there. They wind up just biting the 8-foot. Team Hat is currently sitting 2 with only Team Hat's hammer remaining. Team Hat in excellent position to score 3 here. Let's see if they can do it.
I believe they're using witchcraft, Dobbs.
No need for witchcraft. It's just curling.
Look at their hats.
It's just decorative hats. They're just good luck charms. They're not
they're
witches.
witch hats.
A witch would not wear a
But-
fuzzy wolf on their head.
No, but they're dressed as one.
Nah.
No, we are.
So, last rock for Team Hat, Liz Andrew delivering.
Trick.
I think she can even afford to hit and sit here,
Yeah.
but she wound up way wide. It looks like they're just going for the draw to the tee on the right side of the 8-foot.
That rock is really slowing down.
Yes, it is, just like Team Broom, Sweat, and Beer did. They just need to get it a little further.
Kick it.
I don't think they got it.
Oh,
I
they
think
might
it's only
have.
2. No, that's only 2.
There's a lot of conversation.
Well, the Vices get to decide. We're trying to get confirmation here. Indeed, it was 2. So, Team Hat takes 2 with the hammer in the 4th end. We're going to pause our camera switching here for a moment to enter the team names and team and player names into our system so that we can bring you the live player bars. We'll be back in a minute, folks.
Now what do I do?
Okay, switch to the far cam.
We did that.
No, switch to the far cam. No, not the house far.
Oh.
So turn that off. Dial it in. And go ahead and bring up the throwing. So red throwing. Okay. So go to scoreboard, that little thing there. And then click on the little arrow. Okay, click on curling output. And we're going to put in some player names. So Team Hat is Team 1. So scroll down to Team 1 Player 1. No, stop. Team 1 Player 1. Scroll down.
It doesn't scroll down.
Use the scroll wheel.
There's no scroll wheel.
It's a virtual scroll wheel.
Oh.
So double click on Team 1 Player 1 name. So lead name. And erase that. And the Team Hat is Morgan Haskell. Morgan Haskel. Enter. Okay, scroll down to Team 1 Player 2 name.
Hey, I like that. That's
Second
pretty
is
neat.
Andrew Diller. Oh, caps lock.
Oh. Well, he's a loud guy.
Enter.
Yeah. Which of us? We're both Mike.
I'm supposed to be curling in about 45 minutes, but it doesn't look like that's going to happen. So, yeah, I'll take a woodchuck or an angry orchard.
I left it over there. Who's third?
Gilad, Gilad.
Yeah, Gilad.
Space Kempenich, Kempenich. Enter.
Como así?
Okay, and player 4. Elizabeth, space Andrew. Enter. Yeah, put it in the middle.
Yeah, that's.
Elizabeth, space, parentheses, Lizzie. And enter. Okay, so next up is Broom, Sweat, and Tears. Keep going. Team 2, player 1 name. So lead name 2.
Oh.
That is Paige Roberts. Enter. And Team 1, player 2 is Rob. Aguilar, Aguilar. Aguilar.
Yeah, Aguilar.
Yep, enter.
It's Spanish, you know.
Okay, player 3. Carin. Space. Rogowski. Rogo.
Rogo.
SKY. Enter. Wait, hold on. We're in the wrong spot. So, the
Why?
Vice. So who's Vice right now for Team Yellow? Jen who? Oh, sorry. So Jen. Jen space 2 N's.
She's 2 N's.
Delaney.
Like that? Aney. Delaney. Okay.
And so player 4 is Pete Morales. easy.
Like that. Aha.
Okay.
And we're done?
So let's update our rock trackers.
Well, how do I get out of this?
Just leave it.
Oh, okay.
It'll go away on its own. So both teams have 5 rocks left. So go ahead and use the throwing rocks. So both teams have 5 left. So keep going. That's 2, 3. So that's good. And now turn red on and off. Good. And red is about to throw. So turn on player bars.
Hey.
Yep.
Oh, that is slick.
And just leave it there for now. And so now when you click throwing, the player bar will fly up automatically.
That's pretty slick. Okay, where are we at? There, okay. So I need to have this ready to go. Hey, it's Rob.
Rob delivering his rock for Brooms, Sweat, and Beer.
I jumped the gun on that one.
This is the last of the second rocks.
That was a fluffy bunny. Look at that one. Ooh.
That fluffy bunny wound up in the house.
Yeah, but it's,
A good rock.
it's a good rock. Look at that. Yeah,
Broom,
nice line. You could get a triple here if you were really, really strong.
You might as well go for it.
Yeah, I think so.
I mean, really, if you clear the top one, that's great. If you get a double, fantastic. If you get a triple, I think you might just win the box outright.
Yeah, I think if you get a triple, you win the box. You win our box.
You win the commentator's box. Second for Brooms, Sweat, and Beer. Sorry, folks, that was actually the vice for Team Hat, Gilad. He only got 1, but he did wind up sticking around in the house on the right side of the 12-foot.
Pretty good. You programmed all this? It's pretty slick, man.
Well, I programmed the scoreboard. This was all done by somebody else. This and the layer and all that animation stuff, that's me.
Wow, that's pretty good.
All right, so this is
I'm
Jen.
impressed.
Jen delivering the first of the Vice rocks for Brooms, Sweat, and Beer. Another fluffy bunny.
Yeah, that one looks a little too fluffy there, Dobbs.
They're having to work that fluffy bunny. Trying to drag it over in front of the other rocks.
I think they really needed a slightly coarser bunny, but that's okay. The sweepers did their work.
Yes, they did. Sweepers earned their paycheck.
We get paid? We get paid for this?
Paid with air quotes.
They can't see the air quotes. I don't get paid, but it's probably because I'm a lousy sweeper. I mean, like, oh, thank you.
Gilad delivering his second rock for Team Hat. They are opting to try and draw behind this time. They're not going for a takeout. That rock is really wide, folks.
Yeah,
it's got a long
but
way to come back. It
coming
should.
Pretty heavy though. Oh, dig, dig, dig.
Oh, it looks nice. Can they get
Got
it far
right
enough?
There. Nah, it's gonna run out of gas, man.
Ah. So close.
My beer is way over there.
Yeah.
Can I?
I'll get it.
Okay.
You want some mac and cheese?
Thanks. That's pretty light. I don't know what they're doing here. Oh, it's coming in. Well, that worked out pretty good for yellow there. there's a lot of pondering going on down there now, which is usually a good sign for the opposing team. I know I don't do a lot of pondering, because mostly I don't skip. But if I was pondering what you're pondering, it would be pencils that taste like bacon. Sweet. Dobbs just brought me macaroni because he's awesome. Oh, that's Le Whack. Whoa, there's a double. Look at that. That's a box shot right there. Box.
You want another red stripe?
There's one right there.
It's empty.
Oh, is it? Damn it. Yeah, then yes. Grab me one. I'll throw money in the box. Now there's going to be a lot of discussion. That was a hell of a shot. I got to tell you. Lizzie threw that. That was a serious Le Whack right there. Thank you. I owe you.
So 3 rocks left here in the 5th end. We do play 8-end games here in our internal events. Makes things go a little faster.
Also, we get tired.
Amen.
And you run out of beer.
Well, 8 ends let you drink more beer.
No. You have to stop in the middle to drink beer. I guess 10 ends would let you drink more beer then. Why are we bothering to curl? Let's just drink beer.
Please, we do need to curl. I enjoy my curling.
Well, yeah, it takes time up in between beer.
Well, it makes you thirsty.
Right. Pete's shot's pretty fluffy there. I think they got to sweep the hell out of that.
Well, they're trying to draw behind. They're trying to draw behind the rock
They're
already
gonna
in the
wreck.
house. They might do it.
Oh, that's
It's really
tight.
close. Plenty of room to get around.
Oh,
they
look
drop
at that, baby. That was a pretty shot.
it. Box shot.
That's a box. So they stole the box back from Lizzie, I think.
Yes, they did.
Lizzie didn't want to give up the box, but in that case, she had to. Are they thinking? What's happening down here?
I'm not sure. Nobody's in the house.
We're going to study these rocks for a second.
Yeah, Liz has the next shot.
But it doesn't appear that, okay. They've made a decision to look at some things.
With that broom, it looks like they're either trying to draw through or promote one of the reds onto the button.
I'm not sure Ray Lewis has that kind of finesse.
Well, fortunately, Ray Lewis isn't throwing. Liz Andrew is throwing.
Well, it looks like Ray Lewis. That does not look like Ray Lewis. That's the number. I don't see people that way, John. If the number says Ray Lewis, it's Ray Lewis.
She is not wearing a big brace on her arm.
Yeah, that's true. That one that makes him drop interceptions.
Liz Andrew delivering the gavel. I think it's a raise, yeah.
We think it might be a raise.
It's not going to be a raise. It's going to be a draw. Looks like a draw with backing.
Nope, too far.
Oh!
Le Flash.
Definitely not as nice as Lewak.
No. For all of those out there in the curling land, Le Whack is French for Le Whack, which when you hit another rock that goes Le Whack like that.
So let's look at this end here.
It's real French, too, by the way.
Broom, Sweat, and Beer is yellow. They're currently sitting 2. They have only the hammer left, so they can just draw for 3, right?
It would appear. Yeah. Just go right through the thing.
2.
Who?
1
Right here.
in the 4th end, 2. So if Broom, Sweat, and Beer can manage to get 3 here in the 5th end, they will enter the 6th tied. That rock's pretty wide. It will curl back. They're really sweeping it.
Heavy and wide, which is good for a Friday night. If you've
Well,
been
it was
drinking.
wide. It was not heavy.
No. But it
That
ended
is
up
a beautiful.
beautifully. Yeah.
Now, unfortunately, they tap their own rock, so they don't get to call box.
No.
So, slider, score.
Is the 8th end coming up tied? Tied after 7?
Turn off 2 throwing and add a rock back.
Huh?
Never mind. Page delivering the first rock of the 6th end. Pete's got to be really pleased with the result.
He's peachy pleased there, Dobbs. Who was that?
Morgan delivering first rock for Team Hat here in the 6th end.
That's a good shot.
Wound up drawing into the house and open, so it's okay.
That's a box shot.
Yes, it is.
Box. There goes Lizzie to collect the box. You see her in the background there.
Paige Roberts delivering her second rock of this 6th end for Team Brooms, Sweat, and Beer. Looks like they're going to come down and tap up. Just barely bumps the red rock, bumping the red to the tee, and leaving their own rock on the center line in the 8-foot.
The peanut gallery seems to be advocating for heavy and wide. A lot. Yeah. I like them heavy and wide, you know, after a few beers.
No, never be heavy
We're
and
talking
wide,
about
never be light
curling.
and narrow.
Yeah, right. Well, light and narrow, that's just no fun.
Indeed. Light and narrow, you wear people out when you're light and narrow.
Oh, yeah. You're always worried about breaking something, you know.
Worried about picking something up.
Right. I worry about that a lot. It's always good
rock
to
is
protect your stones in case you're worried about picking something up.
This rock winds up not bad. Everything sticks around in the house, and Team Hat is still sitting shot.
As like a finesse shove.
Indeed.
We have a real pro watching with us, too. Rich Chin is telling us that that's actually a good shot, which is good because I wouldn't know. But it's a little heavy, he says. If you're going to poke something, you want to be a little heavy. It's good to poke them heavy. for any excuse to wear my tux, too. Because... Oh, real, of course.
So I was just looking up. This is a game in the first event. Both these teams are still in the running for winning our best prize and winning the best event. The loser of this game will drop down to the third event.
It's good to lose early.
Well,
Not now.
no.
Now it's too late. First game.
It's not too bad to lose your first game because then you drop down to the second draw, second
Right.
event, and that's pretty good.
Yeah. I count on that.
Rob coming down with his second rock of this end. They're really trying to make it die and curl. They're going
Trying to
come
get it to
right,
sit in that pocket, and they missed.
comes right through the hole. They needed to sweep it a little bit, use their own backing.
That's good for 3.
If only field goals counted in this game.
I thought they did. What have I been playing?
Hockey.
There's no field goals in hockey.
That's why it's still screwed up.
Can we play hockey?
Not on this ice, Bubba.
I think it's more fun.
I think our Ice Master technicians would have a few issues with you if you decided to try and skate on our ice.
You know, I saw a thing on How It's Made today about heated hockey skates, which got me thinking that a curling broom is just big enough to store, put a few C batteries.
Well, somebody's tried that, and they got
Yeah.
caught doing it, so
Well,
it's not a good idea.
They don't catch you,
Yeah, when you stick your broom up in the air and there's steam coming off of it, they catch you.
That just means you're sweeping hard. I have steam coming off my broom all the time.
I got steam coming off of me, but not my broom.
Ooh, Dobbs. Don't tempt me. Oh, I'm way off. Who's throwing? There we go.
Mine's pretty good.
Looks like Jen is trying to draw around. It's light
It's
and narrow.
light. They're coming running out.
Looks like they're going to crash into the guard.
The line was good if they had thrown just a,
Yep.
That's not bad. That's okay.
It's all right?
It's all right.
It's all right.
So at some point, we're going to have to swing our cameras over to sheet A because we have the littlest Clausen over there curling in a suit, and it is
Tux,
fantastic.
In a tux even.
Mm-hmm.
He looks like tiny James Bond.
Curling.
Well, yeah.
Well, of course James Bond would curl, right?
And he would be flawless at it on his first go.
Absolutely.
I think they're trying to relay some kind of information to each other. Is that legal? Are they allowed to table talk?
Sure, why not?
Yeah.
I am thinking back to this idea of James Bond curling, though.
I think we should have a Bond spiel where everybody has to wear tuxedos.
Mm-hmm.
Comes over, you can tap the yellow one.
And we could all talk in James Bond, like, Bond, James Bond. Frankly,
I-
my dear, you didn't sweep hard enough.
Yeah, no, you're mixing movies there, Dobbs.
Yeah, it's all good.
I vote for the Pierce Brosnan Bond. He's my favorite.
Why did they sweep that?
I don't know. You kind of can't beat Sean Connery as Bond.
No, he was too corny for me. I like Pierce Brosnan. Much cooler with the one-liners.
Pierce Brosnan had the one-liners, but he didn't have any substance.
You're not looking for substance. You're looking to pound Russians in the face and then deliver a cool line afterwards.
I don't know. I got to give my props to Daniel Craig, though.
Yeah, I'm surprised a blonde Bond could actually function.
It was really good, especially Skyfall. It was, I'll admit, the guerrilla warfare was a little weird for a Bond movie, but it was really good.
There's guerrilla warfare in GoldenEye.
But there's really nothing like setting the country house as a booby trap
Yeah,
with
well,
shotgun shells, shards
what
of
if other
glass,
people
and
haven't
nails.
seen it yet, Dobbs? Don't ruin it for our viewers.
Okay, at some point, I'm allowed to tell anybody spoilers.
No.
I'm
Not-
allowed to tell you that,
Not
yes,
till Daniel Craig wins the Oscar.
I can tell you that Harry Potter wins.
I don't want to know about that. You ruined everything.
Gila with his last rock of this, the sixth end.
That's
Yet
coming
again, the
in
rock's
hot,
a little
man.
wide.
Le whack. Le tap.
Jams on the back and spills two.
That kind of worked though. It got out of there.
Well, it's okay. He leaves his own rock exposed, leaving it still a
Can
hit and roll opportunity
hitting
for
it-
Pete.
Yeah, hit and roll in there.
Don't have any cowbells near here. We need some cowbells.
Yeah, we need more cowbell. I think, okay, I amend my statement. The first viewer to bring us cowbell wins a beer.
Well, and someone here could do it because I'm sure we have cowbells here in the club.
They have to drive to the club to bring us the beer.
Cow-
Or the bell.
Cowbell, and they get to drink beer with us, right? Well,
It's a
cider
high
with
honor,
me.
Dobbs. A lot of discussion here.
You can't be
What?
sober. You're playing me next.
Yeah. No cheating. That's cheating. You being sober? Rob Chester has announced that he's sober. So for anybody that cares, quickly bring scotch. Otherwise, Dobbs is going to lose.
Oh, please. I was going to beat him anyways. I just wanted him to have an excuse.
Right. You're always a humanitarian.
Absolutely. I like being kind. So they're going definitely for the hit and roll here.
Yeah, that's
sweepers.
whack.
Sweepers
That's like
stay
a
off of it
rocket,
the whole
man.
way.
Look at that. Oh, and they got the good flop over. Oh,
Except they spilled through the house.
Wow, right through that port.
Yep.
Look at that.
So I'm checking the rocks here, and it looks like Team Hat is still sitting 1-2.
I think red is sitting two there.
And Team Hat does have the hammer this end. Broom, Sweat, and Beer could be in a bit of trouble here.
A lot of trouble there, Dobbs.
And it starts with T, and that rhymes with P, and that stands for pool.
Yes. TROUBLE for all the Travis Tritt fans out there.
Trouble,
That's a different song.
Well, we can't stick with the same song for too long.
Well, I think maybe we should have a contest to see who can come up with the most songs featuring the word trouble.
I would probably lose that game.
Yeah,
So,
you probably
looking back
would.
at the rocks here, Liz Andrew delivering her first Skips rock of this, the sixth end.
If the second Skips Rock is the gavel, what's the first one?
Are we going to name all 16 rocks now?
I think so. One of them
There's-
should be named Chuck. I like that name.
Well, Chuck has got to be a second rocks because you really
Because
chuck
you
those
chuck
rocks.
those rocks, yeah. And you can tell the woodchucks to stop. Oh,
Well,
that-
the rock
man,
wind-
look at that.
Wound up traveling entirely through the house and past the back
That's
line.
the slowest flash in history. There's a lot of discussion going on, which is good, so I can eat some macaroni.
Don't forget the cheese, man. Don't forget the cheese.
There's cheese on the mac. Be better with some hot sauce.
I'm sure we've got hot sauce somewhere.
I know. I'm lazy.
Once again, looking back at the game, folks. Team Brooms, Sweat, and Beer with their final rock of this end. They do not have the hammer. They're not too sad about not having the hammer because they scored 3 in the fifth end to give it up. But I think they're kind of worried about this one. With
It's a
Team
tough-
Hat
tough
sitting
call.
2.
Anytime when you got a lot of discussion as to what the shot is, it's not a good sign.
No, it's really not.
Because it means you don't have a lot of options.
Or maybe you have a lot of options, they're not any good options.
Well, our resident statistician expert, Rich, says that they're going to do a tap back, which I think is some Canadian word for popping things forward.
That is indeed a possibility. We'll see what Pete decides to throw. He's got about a rock and a little bit of ice. It's about a back house weight, maybe tee. Oh, it's slowed down a lot. There's the curl.
Woo-wee.
They do wind up hitting their own rock.
Le tap.
Yeah, le tap, but not enough.
No. Needed more like le shove.
So, Team Hat is still sitting
we only
first.
use official French-Canadian curling terms here.
Team Hat is still sitting first and second shot, and they are now throwing hammer, which means they can simply draw for 3. That is a tiny little hole to draw through, though. They have to be at least 30% in the 4-foot.
It's good to stick it in the little hole. That's how you get points.
That does prove your experience as a curler.
You want me to stop? I will.
Let's do try and tone it down.
Okay.
I don't want Linda to yell at me again. The port looks to be a little over a rock wide. So there is room to draw a rock there. And there's not too much bad that can happen if you throw it and miss. So you might as well go for it.
Yeah, I agree.
You got to go for the 3.
Well, you're in the first event. You want to be aggressive. You
know,
need to win.
They can also go for the promote.
They better come up with a plan B right here.
But I think they're going to miss both of it. No change.
Nope.
Team Hat keeps 2 in the 6th end to take a lead 8-6. This is a fairly high-scoring curling game.
Fairly.
Slider and score.
Who got it? What'd they get? 2?
And turn off throwing, reset the rocks.
I'm getting better at this. It takes a little, little bit of experience.
Beginning of the 7th end here.
No
Morgan,
stretch for the 7th, though.
Morgan delivering the first rock.
See, I was going with the Jason Bateman character from Dodgeball, just saying obvious but also not helpful on ESPN the Ocho. I think that's fucking hilarious, but I don't want to piss anybody off. They're clean but ambiguous.
Pete looking to put a guard up, trying to draw to the other side of the guard zone.
That's a little hot. Deeper than they meant. Just biting. Ooh. That worked out all right. No, not quite biting.
I would actually guess that it's biting. Remember, our
Hard
house
to see
cams,
from here, yeah.
our house cams do tend to see under the rocks a little bit, so that rock is probably in the house. But it looks like Liz is calling just for the draw behind. I'm supposed to be on the ice in 11 minutes.
Yeah, but that's not going to happen.
Exactly.
Or whatever.
Nothing I can do about it.
Yeah. I have enough room to be a little late starting this game, but then I got to go. I'm not playing my 3rd game.
You're playing at what, 7?
I'm not playing anything else today because I got birthday dinner, even though my birthday was last month. Nice. It was scheduled for now when everybody's back in town.
All right.
Whoa! Le whack!
Le tap.
Yeah, attempted whack. That'll get you 3 to 5.
Andrew delivering for Team Hat.
There's the bell ringing. It's time for the raffle. Hurry up and get down here so you can buy tickets.
Yay, everyone!
You should be present to win, though. Whoa.
Come on, folks. You know you want to win a Potomac Curling Club pint
You
glass.
could come and win a Potomac Curling Club pint glass.
It's a big glass of air.
It's currently full of air.
Rhonda Brand.
Yay to Marsha Allen.
Marsha. Rob Chester's advocating for a recount on the raffle because he didn't win.
Rhonda Brand.
Rob, you don't need any more glasses. You're supposed to be sober.
So back here on the game, folks, we're waiting for Andrew to deliver his second rock. The raffle behind us is continuing on for all of our participants here in the Big Spiel. Oh, a
That's
burn
another
rock.
burn rock.
Woo, pants on fire, man.
Está quemado. Escort the burned rock off the ice. Does the rock have to go to the penalty box, Dobbs, or it can just sit with its friends?
Fortunately, we have an ice sheet out here, so it just sits on the ice for a little bit longer.
It just sits on the ice. Okay. Now potentially burning for Team Yellow is Rob.
Oh, he can't burn his own rock, so
Well,
potentially burning would be Paige and Jen.
Yeah, right.
But no, they'd never burn a rock.
They don't burn rocks. Not burners, Dobbs. Not
I'll admit,
burners.
I've come awfully close to burning rocks today.
It happens sometimes in the heat of battle.
Well, when you're pounding rock after rock after rock,
Especially
and you
if
really,
got a team sweeper who's like, a little too close to you.
I
don't like that.
Well, especially for me, because right now I play vice and skip in my league, so I don't play second very often.
Right.
I'm playing second here. I'm sweeping.
Yeah.
I'm sweeping 6 rocks.
You're out of practice.
Yes, I am.
How does that work at home? Don't you have to sweep a lot at home? Or you live by yourself, you have to sweep all the time?
Vacuum cleaners.
Oh, you have one of those.
This modern piece of technology.
Dobbs is really a lot better at technology than I am because he has a vacuum cleaner.
Well, just because I have a vacuum cleaner doesn't mean I use it that often.
Wow. See, I have a dog, so I don't have to ever sweep.
Dude.
What?
Okay, the rock is coming into the house.
It's going to flash.
Just skates by the guard.
It got a little tap.
Nice.
Tap.
Jen Delaney getting ready to deliver here. She's sitting in the hack, waiting for Pete the Skip to deliver the call. Looks like they're going for either a slight tap or a double. One of our warm room skips over here calling for the freeze, and that is indeed the call. I should learn to listen to the warm room skips.
No.
Well, only when I'm commentating.
And
Rock
my
looks a
rat-
little heavy.
Oh. Let tap. You got
Four
your
rocks
double.
move. 4 rocks moving there.
It's good to keep the rocks moving.
But Broom's Sweat and Beer winds up shot rock behind cover, although it's really high cover.
That might have been more like a jostle than a hit.
Indeed, jostle weight.
It's good to get your rocks jostled every once in a while.
Gila with his Brazil uniform and gray wizard hat.
It's a Hobbit hat.
That is not a Hobbit hat. That's a wizard hat.
It's from the Hobbit. It says it right on the hat.
Well, it's from the Hobbit, but it's a wizard hat.
Well, yeah.
You don't see a Hobbit wearing a hat that's taller than them.
In fact, I don't think I see the Hobbits wearing hats at all, usually.
That looks like an excellent rock. Gets the hit and rolls out just a little bit,
Once in a while, they wear helmets.
but not hats.
No. Hobbits not hat guys. Makes it tough when they're playing baseball. They ain't got nothing to keep the sun out of their eyes.
Pete is again calling for the heavy draw here, looking to run, hit and roll, hopefully. Jen delivering the rock. Nice, clean delivery.
That looks like that's going to just get by it. Whoa.
Gets by the
Going
guard.
down hard. Pow.
Hits it right on the nose
Look
and
at that.
sits exposed, just a little,
But it's got
completely
some
exposed.
backing still.
It's got backing on either side, but Team Hat should be able to come down and take it out. If they want the hit and roll, they would lose some of their own backing, though.
Very true. Good analysis.
Why, thank you. I've had lots of practice.
Apparently. In case anybody's wondering, this is my first time working this whole podcast dealie. It's pretty good, I think.
And I'll admit, about a month ago I had almost no practice, but then there was the junior playdowns, and I broadcast 15 draws in a row.
Yeah, I'm not used to I'm usually on the air, but it's public radio, they have very exacting standards. so
Well,
to
they all
speak.
probably also have a delay button.
For me, yeah. Very, very long delay.
Are you telling me I need to program in a delay button?
I wouldn't like that.
So, gets the hit, loses one backing rock.
Ooh. Hey, still stuck around, though. Look at where that ended up. And
Yep.
that's hittable, though.
Absolutely hittable. It's still completely exposed.
Yeah.
But Team Hat is sitting first and second, and I don't think the angles are there for Broom, Sweat, and Beer to come down and double right out of the house.
Seems like they've got a shot, though. They seem a little more confident than you.
I think they're just going for the same thing, the hit and sit or the hit and roll behind cover.
I like that. We should play an end where you can only do shots that rhyme, like hit and sit.
Are there any other shots that rhyme?
Sure. There's hack whack.
Okay, a hack whack. Well, a hack whack could be a hit and roll, could be a double, could be a control.
It's a hack whack.
Definitely a loosely defined term.
Still rhymes.
Yeah, but you still couldn't throw any guards.
Hard guard.
Well, Fluffy Bunny.
Yeah, right. That doesn't rhyme, though. But that
Close
is my,
enough.
Yeah. See, I'm hoping to use these airwaves to drastically influence the lexicon of curling by introducing terms like le whack.
Well,
And,
unfortunately, we would
fluffy
have
bunnies.
to have more than 3 viewers watching our broadcast.
Well, let's work on that, shall we?
Go right ahead.
Perhaps if we livened up the broadcast, maybe with some heavy metal music or, ring girls on the ice, people would watch that.
Well, clearly that would be rink girls, but no.
Sure,
How about
why
not?
not?
However, what people could do to help liven this up is donate to our Webcast Audio Improvement Fund. We have a box here in the warm room, and we actually have a generous donor, Bill Peskoff, who will match donations made by club members up to $1,000. So if we can raise the money, we hope to have wireless skips mics and broadcast headsets for our commentators for the Dykes. That's our goal, folks, but we need your help to do it. We're not asking for time. You don't have to work at all to do it. It's just a little bit of money.
Nice plug. And, since it is the Pledge Drive season, anybody who comes and brings money can carry one of my tote bags for a while.
There you go.
In fact, there might even be a big donor trophy that could be made, for like the big sack of whack money.
Well, back on the rocks here, Liz Andrew delivering her last rock of the end, delivering the gavel.
Think about what curling audio means to you. It's less than a coffee a day.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Box shot.
Box.
So once again, Liz earns the box back to her sheet. And it's getting kind of close to the end here. So Team Hat, once again, I believe sitting first, second, and a third shot.
Very possible.
Brooms, Sweat, and Beer does have the hammer. So Pete is going to have to do a heavy draw to the button. He does have backing here. He can afford to tap the red rock back a little bit. That red rock is behind cover, though, so he can't be too heavy. Because if he winds up using the backing, he has to curl behind the guard. Pete comes out of the hack. Nice, clean delivery. Sweepers are staying off of it. He's wide. He's way wide.
It's really got a curl.
It's getting a little. It's going to get a chip. Gets a little. Oh!
Ooh,
rolls
look at that.
into backing.
Steals it.
That is nice. Broom, Sweat, and Beer does draw for one with the hammer. The score is now Team Hat 8, Broom, Sweat, and Beer 7. Broom, Sweat, and Beer will be going into the 8th and down 1 point and without the hammer.
How many did they get?
One.
You're getting better at this. You should really consider donating to the audio fund, though. I mean, out of all seriousness, if everybody pitches in just $10 or so, we'll meet our goal. And you have no idea how much better this could really be.
I don't know. I've gotten compliments from, I think, all over the country, really, about how good the video looked during our GNCC Junior Nationals broadcast.
You're not selling this well, Dobbs.
So I think if we can bring this audio up to the same level as our video, it'll be fantastic.
Yeah, we're a top-rate club with the best-looking curlers, clearly, in this side of the country. So, we need audio to match that.
Absolutely.
That's what the top-notch video is for.
Don't you enjoy the sultry sound of my voice?
You have no idea. I actually keep these recordings to help me get to sleep at night.
Well, remember this end, folks, because this is Michael Dobbs, your broadcasting master, archived for all eternity here on the internet.
You single? You're single, right? Yes. And ladies, he's single. Just listen to that voice.
Oh, yeah.
Barry White's guest hosting with us today.
And yes, unfortunately, folks, we do not have a dump button. We don't have a pause button. It's all live. It's all streaming to you live. There's no way we can block it.
That will probably change if I keep doing this.
Paige Roberts delivering her second rock of the 8th end.
Ooh, that one really got out there.
Yes, it did. It's coming back. A little.
Not enough.
It'll wind up a decent corner guard.
Corner. Biting, though.
Yep, that rock's in. Team Hat's going to go after it. Try and hit and roll behind cover.
If it'll get us more donations, I'll talk less. But if it'll get us more donations, I'll talk more.
Well, what would really get us more donations is more than three people watching right now. So
those 3 people watching, you have a duty. And yeah, I said have. So you need to go out there and get some friends and tell them to sign in and watch too. And if you don't have friends and that's why you're watching curling on the internet, you should just come down to the club.
Team Hat opting to draw behind cover with a nice draw. They're about 20% exposed.
Well, one of them's me, so one of them is probably Ken. Probably.
Rob delivering his rock. He fishtailed a little bit, but still wound up with a nice delivery. Yet again, the rock's a little wide.
It's a fishy rock.
He's coming right through the hole, but looks a little heavy. He's going to use that backing.
Nope. Just missed. Well, he stuck around. What?
Andrew delivering his first rock for Team Hat. They're sitting shot, and they have hammer, so they're probably looking to throw up a guard. But this rock looks a little heavy.
A little deep. Yeah, not fluffy enough.
They're changed to the freeze.
Close.
Close, but
It's a
easily
double
pickable
there.
and
Oh, yeah.
easily double. Well, not easily doubleable. Easy for me to say it's
Yeah.
doubleable, but actually doing it, that's another matter. But Pete's going to go for it.
Oh, it's got plenty of weight.
Lots of weight. Really sweeping it hard, though. I don't think it lined up properly.
Hard to see.
Yeah, they're just going to clear the guard.
Yep.
Moved a lot of rocks, but not the right ones.
Lizzie wants to put that guard back. Thing's really dying. They're going to have to hustle. I don't think it's going to curl over enough. They probably should have swept that a little more. Because then now that's all wide open.
Yeah, they would have liked to have dragged that over. Now the double is wide open. He's got lots of angles to hit it on. Jen comes out of the hack. Ooh, she looked a little wide.
Actually, no, there's not right now. Do you know what the link is then? To our. Oh, I see it.
It gets a single one.
Actually, let me look and see if the button was put on our website.
Yeah, because we should be tweeting this. Yeah, everybody watching, tweet the link that you use to all your followers. What's up, man? We have a guest analyst here, Rob Cheater Chester, who is purportedly sober, much to Dobbs' chagrin because he's playing.
We bought 2 new bottles of alcohol for our liquor cabinet.
That's good.
What do you got here?
Try that. It's good for you.
What do we got?
Bourbon.
We bought cognac and then a $50 bottle of scotch.
You'll have to type it in.
I don't like cognac. That's way too sweet. That's for girls.
That's good.
Yeah.
Just send it to me.
That's from Fredericksburg.
I'm playing Dobbs next.
Yeah, I think
Dobbs
so.
are going down.
EPHEN.
So Rob has come to threaten Dobbs on the podcast
I will decap him if necessary.
and threaten also to gently tickle him. PG audience.
How many people we got watching?
I don't know, 3, and one of them's Dobbs. But I was already reprimanded.
The other 2 people.
I don't know. I think the internet.
The internet.
Yeah.
We have 1,700 followers.
1,700?
Yes.
Aren't we
On
awesome?
live stream.
That's awesome.
Like all these random people from all over the world.
Have they seen the Jeff Lee game from Utica last year? Because that would get at least.
That would-
20,000
yeah,
followers.
right.
There were at least 20,000 followers. That was the
It was against us, actually. It was a Potomac death match in Utica at the Dykes, in which
Where Jeff literally got off the ice for like an end and just started drinking.
most of Spartacus was falling over drunk, but still making shots. Playing against them was annoying, I got to tell you. It was fun, but annoying. Game took 3.5 hours.
I didn't notice I was drunk.
Yeah. We did.
Yeah, Charlo's team won.
Are you playing in the next draw?
No. I was playing with Brian. Yeah. Talk off camera.
Yeah, I have to tell you about that. What happened? That rock really died. Maybe it hit something? Whoa.
We got a hog.
They're called Team Hat, for anybody who's wondering about the team with the hats. It's a creative title. Yeah.
I like it. Are they beating Morelowitz?
Yes,
Yeah.
they're up by 1.
Merowitz?
So, as we approach the end of this, the 8th end, Morelowitz has 1 rock remaining. Team Hat has 1 rock remaining. Team Hat has the hammer. Morelowitz needs to do a delicate tap back or a hit and roll behind cover and still be in the forefoot, because Team Hat has 1 in the forefoot and 1 almost biting the forefoot.
He's got a couple of bad options,
Well,
basically. I mean, tough
tough
shots.
options, definitely. They're all makeable,
Oh, yeah.
but, you know.
And certainly Pete is qualified.
And correction, both teams have 2 rocks left. So
They have
he can
2,
try it
yeah.
once and screw up and try it again.
Right. Well, depending on what there's going to be a big conference about this. We're going to go to the conference live.
So, yeah, teams come down to discuss the rock. It is rather important. This is a first event game, and the loser drops down to the 3rd event.
Whoever knows how to read broom speak and lips, text us and let us know what they're saying. Stick your head out there and see what they're saying.
Well, if we had the on-ice audio piped in.
Yeah, you know, this is a great time to mention that if we had on-ice audio, we could hear this whole conversation right now through the Skip's mic. So, you know, all of those out there listening really should be donating to this cause. If you're not, you know, you're listening for free, really, and that's stealing, and we don't advocate that. I think Pete's decided on his shot.
Rather than effort, rather than work, just put $10 in.
All right, there you go. I will put $10.
So yeah, anybody who's listening should put $10 in to the audio fund, and then we could have heard that little conference instead of just making it up.
I think it went like this. Let's call a shot.
Right.
Morelowitz,
I think Pete said, "I'm tired of this, and I'd like to win now."
he's definitely going for the hit and roll. He did not give himself a lot of ice. He gets the hit.
Le whack, le double
Moves
whack.
2 rocks.
That's a double. Beauty, eh? Look at that.
He
I
does
think
wind
so.
up. He does wind up shot, but his shot rock is now completely exposed. So Team Hat is going to hit and roll.
Hit and win.
They're having a big conversation about that.
Oh, I can't count.
I made that mistake.
How's the cider? You want me to buy you 4 more? You can play it before our game. We are Team Cheater.
This is already my second of the day.
I will make you this offer that I made to the rest of your team. We will buy you a total of 16 beverages of your choice.
Jimmy, who are we
The number goes down as the game goes on.
Who are we playing?
So if you get down, it goes down to 3.
Who?
You can even
okay.
forfeit if you're winning.
See, it doesn't matter whether we win or lose. We still have to play the same number of games. So I'd rather win. Thank you very much.
But we're Team Cheater.
Exactly. So you can't win.
No, we
can't allow you
cheat.
to win.
We cheat. We absolutely win. We're supposed to win. We cheat.
Cheaters always win.
Liz threw a rock. Her first rock. She's going
yeah,
for
if
the
you're
hit
not
and
cheating,
roll.
You're not trying, says Rob.
Just skinnies by the guard. Gets the hit and rolls through the house.
Le whack.
So that does not count as a double, folks. She already
We don't
has the
have a
box,
cowbell.
though.
We put a challenge out to our viewers. Whoever comes up with the cowbell gets to drink beer with us.
We need a cowbell audio file.
No, we need
No,
a real
we don't need a cowbell audio file. We have
No,
cowbells.
We don't want digital cowbells. You lose a lot of authenticity with that.
Can we get the gif of the guy with the cowbell?
No, we need a real cowbell. Whoever brings us a real cowbell gets to sit and drink beer with us.
I mean, yes, technically I can add a cowbell button to our control panel.
That's
There
a
we
new.
go.
We need a new one. You're in charge of that thing. I got to do all this clicking.
Yet again, Pete Morelowitz taking his time on this shot.
He's thinking. Let's see if we can find him on camera. There's Pete.
It is rather important.
This is his last rock.
Down one. We got some action going on, Sheeta.
We don't care about sheep. We're only broadcasting from once.
We'll swing the cameras around.
That's up to you. I'm gonna have to play soon.
Same here.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, I got to stretch.
Yeah.
Oh wait, I skip. I don't need to stretch for my kids.
So Pete's going for the draw here. He's a little wide of the broom, but that's probably a good thing.
Yeah,
Sweepers
'cause
are on it.
That thing's pretty heavy. Looks like he came in heavy.
Yeah, they need it to curl back. If he doesn't wind up shot, then there's no point in throwing the next rock. Vice Gilad trying to sweep it back.
No, that's Galad.
Gilad. And Pete's rocks winds up a little heavy. They shake. Oh, and they just lost the box, I think.
Did they lose the box?
It's
they
not
were,
sitting behind Liz's rocks.
They were in possession of the box.
Up until that very last rock, I think over on sheet A, somebody made a draw to the 4-foot.
So who got the score there? That was red.
So in the 8th end, it is a shake. Nobody scores.
Game over.
Let's go ahead and bring in the scoreboard, and you can see how this game went.
Do we have post-game interviews?
So as you can see, Team Hat wins against Brooms, Sweat, and Beers. 8-7. Team Hat advances along the first event track. Team Broom, Sweat, and Beers will drop down to the third event.
Press conference.
Next
So
time.
you effed on that shot. What do you have to say for yourself?
So we do have 3
Let's
more
conduct
games
a
going on
poll.
right now.
Whoever's in favor of post-game interviews, everybody has to vote.
Yeah, the other one's probably Ken.
Yeah.
So we do have 3 other games going on right now. We're going to swing our cameras over and bring you some action. Let's go with on sheet C. Actually, we're going to go over to sheet D. They are almost finished.
Here, make that happen.
I'll show you. It's really dirt simple. Sheet D.
How do I do it?
Shortcuts.
Oh. Slick.
So we're over on sheet D. Team Alan McNeil's team throwing the Red Rocks is coming home. They scored 3 in the 7th end, but they're still down 1. Go ahead and bring out the top bars. Well, just ignore all that stuff. We'll get 2 cameras.
At least basketball's something that's going well for us these days.
So this game over here on sheet D is insert witty team name here against Broomba. This is a game in the second event. The winner will advance down the second event track. The loser will drop down to the third event. Alan McNeil throwing the red rocks is insert witty team name here. Broomba is yellow. In
Wow, look at that yellow rock.
that rock is almost completely on the button. Actually, I think I can see a little bit of white all the way around the edge of that rock. That rock is perfectly over the pin.
Ooh, and just dislodged it.
Insert witty team name here with a nice pop through. I think they're sitting first and second. Might only be first shot. This is indeed a tight game. Over on sheet C, the Hack Breakers and Team Shirk are now tied going into the eighth end.
I think the event coordinator's on one of those teams, so it's a fix.
Why, yes, he is. And he gave up 3 in the seventh end.
See, I told you it's a fix.
He gave up 3?
Yeah, he clearly bet on George.
I don't know. Byko versus Shirk. Somebody's got to win.
Thank you, John Madden. Ooh.
Oh, we need a telescope.
Nice.
Well, no, we just need to continue to state the obvious.
Really?
If anybody wants to buy us a telestrator, we will promise to be nice to you and
More powerful machine?
beer.
I don't have a more powerful Mac. Right. That's the problem. Right. So I need all the software.
Right.
To do it all over again.
That's an extra thing.
What do you want to buy, a MacBook? Or like a Mac Pro? Like a tower?
Well, hopefully
Those are expensive.
Mac Pro's too much money.
Yeah.
Hopefully there'll also be a better Mac Mini.
What about
Wait, is that the computer?
Yeah, that's
I mean, an iMac's better than that.
it's a little more expensive though, and with a screen attached to it.
Yeah, it makes it difficult
So
for us.
yeah, it's not perfect. But really, it's this is it for this year. We've spent our budget.
What about a MacBook? MacBook Pro? But that's again
Laptop.
$2,000.
And it's a
Laptop,
laptop.
yeah, it's easy to stolen.
That's pretty easy to steal. Look at how little that is. Yeah.
Is Al McNeil coming back from the dead?
That's what it looks like. He's sitting 2, and there's some
Alan
high guards up
McNeil?
there.
Coming back from the
So as we look over on sheet
McNeil's
D,
curled a good game, or called a good game, I would say.
McNeil's team, insert witty team name here, is currently sitting 1 and 2 in the forefoot with 1 on the button. And there's 2 guards just over the hog line. So he's very well protected.
Yeah.
Team Broomba is calling to just get rid of some guards. They need to open up the house in order to be able to prevent McNeil from stealing 2, because McNeil is down 1 right now. If he
This is
steals
big
2, he'll
weight.
win.
Look at this. Le whack. Le punch.
Oh, no! That is an excellent shot by Team Broomba. He did a 20-foot run-back promote takeout.
In
And this
French,
is recorded.
That's le whack.
Wow.
That was an excellent shot.
I'd call box on that.
Too late.
Unfortunately, that doesn't even earn a box.
It should.
I agree with you completely.
I
Unfortunately, the
feel
box
like
is already
a lot
won.
of things should earn the box.
But, oh, Lord.
Alan McNeil needs to blow the guard.
I work really hard to earn the box
Well-
sometimes.
Blow the guard.
He can't blow the guard because he's got to have protection.
No, I think he needs to try to look for another run back just like they did.
No, he needs to just blow the guards and force them to put it back. If they can't, then he can run the red back and get
that's
jam
true.
on the back.
All right, yeah. Then he would sit 1, 2, 3.
Yes. Exactly. He has to blow the guards.
Yeah. So
Rob Chater Chester's advocating for blowing guards.
Force them to put it back.
yeah, try and get the double.
Because if they miss it, then you've got a wide open shot. But he's not.
It looks like there are
I don't know what he's calling.
3 rocks left for each team. Well, no, because if he hits the red in the middle, he'll leave his own. But if he hits the red rock on that side,
Even if he hits,
you'll get a vote.
in the middle and leaves his own, that's okay.
No, you don't want to leave it open. You want to clear everything. The only way to do that is to hit 1 on the side. And this. He wound up a little wide of the guards and wound up just mucking with stuff in the house.
It's good to muck the house.
Yeah, not when you're not shot.
Not shot, no.
I like that Eli is dressed for success.
Oh, absolutely.
The fact that he can actually curl in a tux is impressive.
It's just the jacket.
Still,
I want to know why we're not all curling in a tux, though.
Well, here, next time we play on a team together, you and I will wear tuxes.
Yeah, let's do that.
have a game called Tux and Pucks when they'll host the game on the 31st, and you get like a $20 coupon or whatever showing up in a tux.
Team Broomba draws around the guard. Winds up leaving their own just in front of the 12-foot, right on the center line. Nice block.
Very well protected.
How did that flash?
I don't know. We got some good games finishing here.
Oh, yeah. If anybody is not playing in the next draw and would like to webcast, come see me. Well, I got one out there who wants to webcast, but we're running a little tight here.
Arthur's team. Arthur and his wife's
Yeah, I
team.
know.
Are they good?
Yeah, and Dobbs. They're a good team.
Okay.
You guys are a good team. You were one I had up there. I looked at it. There were 8 teams that that could win this, with the Shaws being the clear-cut favorite. And
Well, I think the winner of our game.
you got a good team for Kaiser. That's a good team.
Tom and I are playing in Kaiser.
Oh.
It's Laura
Arthur.
and Arthur and 2 other people who are playing in Kaiser. We wanted to do the Dykes team, but the Dykes team said
Kama
no.
under 5?
No, she's 7.
Arthur's under 5?
Both Arthur and
his
Laura
wife are under
under 5. They're
And you're
both
under
in their
5.
they're both in their 5th year.
Right.
And I'm
Under
3.
Right.
So Tom and I all said it.
Right.
No, you're 2.5
Yeah.
at the end of this
I
year.
am in my 3rd year.
Yes.
Because remember, the Dykes 5 and under is if you are in your 5th
year,
year,
you're
you are qualified.
So we technically count as in our 3rd year
correct.
because we played a half season in our 1st year.
Well, no, I didn't play a half season my 1st year. For me, it's been 2 full years and now a half season.
You didn't do the Olympics? I thought you came in the Olympics.
No, I joined in the fall.
What'd you do? Come to an open house or just sign up and curl?
Well, no, after the Olympics, everything was booked.
Right, it was, yeah.
So my buddy Mike Sellen, we both
Yeah,
decided you just wait
How's
till the
Mike?
fall.
Is he not playing this?
Yeah, where is
No, he's
Sal?
not playing.
Why not? I like him. He's a
Loser.
I forget exactly why.
nice guy.
Yeah, he's the skip on my pizza team.
He's just a good guy.
I like Sal. He should be here.
If I didn't known that, I would have emailed him.
If anybody's out there listening and knows where Mike Sell is, tell him to get here and I will buy him a beer.
So Alec McNeil delivering his first of the Skips Rocks for team insert witty team name here. It's about hack weight, maybe bumper. They're trying to go through the hole and do a double bump. They don't get it. So there are still some possibilities for insert team name here, but it's getting a little tight. Over on sheet A, the game is over. Team Broomba has called a shot. It looks like they're going to try and block the left side of the sheet.
I've been advocating for that for a long time. I like this view better.
Skip for Team Broomba delivering his first rock. And Team Broomba does get the guard they wanted, leaving Alan McNeil in a tough situation here.
Really tough.
I'm going to go look over and get the warm room view.
I don't know what to do here. There's this wall of stuff up front, and then a bit more junk kind of in the mid-guard range, and then those two reds. So maybe he's got to go tap, tap, tap. I think if he tries to run back that yellow that's on the center line, back onto the red, back onto the yellow,
There's
that's
a lot.
his only play.
There's a lot of different possibilities, but they all involve moving 3 or 4 rocks on very tight lines with very little margin for error.
See, if he comes through here and taps this tight yellow guard that's sitting close to the center line, he might be able to run that back onto the red and punch that yellow out behind him.
See, what this doesn't show you is you wouldn't be able to fit through the hole in the guard zone and be able to hit the yellow
So you
as a
might
center
have to
line
go
guard.
Tap, tap, tap.
Exactly. You would have to hit a yellow, into a red, and
Into
hope
the
that your
punch the
red hits the
out.
yellow and sticks around.
I can make that shot.
2, 3. Yeah, so you're moving 4 rocks
I can do that.
over a course of 20 feet.
Alan has an advantage at this, too, because he's throwing with the stick, so he can throw, like, tremendous weight and really straight.
That's not always an advantage. Sometimes you want to come down weight and let your sweepers control the curl, because especially on this ice, it always curls.
Yeah, well, that sheet's pretty curly, but I'll tell you, it looks like his play is a straight hit. He's got to nose that thing, right?
They're definitely taking their time discussing. So, I mean, he needs to take 2 for the win. If he takes 1, they'll go into an extra end. But I don't know. If he pulls this off,
is brought to you by the Donate to Our Audio Pledge Drive Fund and Snacky S'mores. Who's listening?
It's archived online for all time, dude.
Right?
Yes.
So we want people to like, oh yeah, we listen to this. We should kick them money. You don't listen to enough public radio, do you?
Oh, yes, I do.
All right, well,
I am so blown away by the pledge drive.
yeah, right. But even when they're not pledge driving, they're constantly hitting you up for money.
Well, funds are Save a Day campaign where you
Yeah,
can give us money.
right.
We'll,
So we won't pledge drive at you for a day.
it's a genius idea.
Yeah. Oh, I give that thing money every time to knock a day off of this thing. Yeah.
Alan McNeil delivering his last rock for Team Insert Witty Team Name here. Sweepers are on it. Let's see if they get the right line. They hit both of the guards. Winds up doing nothing to the house. Team Broomba takes 1 in the 8th end to take the game 6-4.
Woohoo!
Team Broomba will keep on playing in the second event. Team Insert Witty Team Name here will drop down to the third event. So let's bring you over to Sheet C. Give us a moment to switch our cameras here. Here on Sheet C, we have the Hack Breakers against Team Shirk. Team Shirk throwing the yellow rocks. Team Hack Breakers throwing the red rocks. Team Hack Breakers has the hammer. However, Team Shirk with the yellow rocks is sitting 4 in the house right now with 2 in the 4-foot.
to convince all of our massive viewership to donate to our audio fund. But Dobbs told me to stop. Yeah, Dobbs told me to stop pledge driving at them, and I don't think that's nice. He gave a whole spiel to try to get everybody to put money in his little box, and it worked. No, he was out there. Yeah.
So basically,
So that'll give us on ice, audio, and speakers in here, and whatever else. So
wireless gives mics, the broadcast headsets.
yeah. So tell your massive Twitter followers to pledge drive to us and tune in.
George Shirk here with his last rock.
Talk about curling. Always. What is not about me?
He's trying to throw up a guard. That rock's going to wind up in the house.
That thing's pretty heavy.
Winds up picking off of his own rock a little bit, but does wind up guarding the entire 4-foot area.
Wow. That turned out to be a great shot.
Yeah, Baiko's going to have a lot of trouble here. He has to somehow put his rock on the button.
It looks like they're having a lot of discussion.
It's an important shot.
Baiko's in his traditional pose down there with the rock, becoming one with the ice. In case anybody's wondering, they can go watch this game again and again because it'll be archived for all eternity in the great internets. And so will my voice, I think. So that's good. That's going for me. And you, the viewers.
URL so I can, or is it on the website?
What's the call?
Email to you shortly, but it's new.livestream.com/PotomacCurling.
new.livestream.com/Potomac Curling. But if you're listening to this, you already knew that.
Yeah, absolutely.
What's he got here? Looks like he's trying to find a way to tap one of these outside ones back in and maybe jam.
That's tough.
I don't know what he's got.
Now, this game is a second event game, so the winner will stay playing in the second event. The loser will drop down to the third event.
Which is the best event?
For those of you Potomac folks, though, note that Mark Lawrence is out on the ice in this game.
Right, you see he's healthy?
Wow.
Walking around?
He's walking around.
I mean, that's a relative term, I guess.
Exactly.
Coming back from that injury. It's
Nice to
almost
see him back on the-
RG3-like.
Nice to see him back on the ice.
Yeah. Sans boot.
Indeed. Well, he's got to get his practice in. Dykes is
Right.
coming up.
Oh, yeah.
And for those of you, it is not Dykes, as in, well, whatever. It's the
The
Francis.
thing that holds back the water, Dobbs.
Absolutely.
That the little Dutch boy sticks his finger in.
This is actually the Francis Dykes Memorial Bonspiel.
If you see a dike, you should stick your finger in it so it doesn't leak.
If you see a leaking dike, you should stick your finger in
Yeah.
it to block it.
What other
But-
kind of dikes were you thinking?
But this is the Francis Dykes Memorial Bonspiel.
Yeah, Francis Dykes.
So this
Which is just for guys, which it's sort of counterintuitive.
It is for men who are in their 5th year of curling or younger. For
Younger meaning
people,
curling, not in age.
Indeed. For the Grand National Curling Clubs here on the eastern seaboard and adjoining states.
We let Ohio in.
And we're actually hosting it here at the Potomac Curling Club.
We can promise lots of really good beer. Because we went and
good
tasted
food,
that.
good drink, good people, good music.
Great ice.
A fantastic
Yeah,
ice.
Championship level ice. Our ice is really the best it's ever been here, I think.
Absolutely. Props to our ice team.
That'd be Ken and
Ken
his friends.
And Jim.
And Jeff and Curtis.
And lots of other people who had on Sunday ice maintenance teams. I scraped for this event. So the rock is delivered. He's definitely going for the raise. Trying to just angle it in. Gets the hit.
Tap.
Oh! 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 I don't know. I don't know. Come on, bring up the house cam, man. Bring up the house cam.
I'm working on it. Look
Oh,
at that. What a shot.
So
Damn
close.
near did it.
Byko almost got it. The rock went
Horseshoes,
just
hand
too far.
grenades and nuclear bombs, but not curling.
You can't get much closer without
No.
making it. So, unfortunately, the Hackbreakers
That
get
was
a
a hard
heartbreaker
shot.
here. Hackbreakers and Team Byko will drop down to the C event. Team Shirk will remain in the second event. Nice shots to everyone. Good sweeping. That was fantastic.
Wow. I'm really glad that we got to have that recorded.
Absolutely. Well,
That was
coming.
a tremendous shot.
We're not certain who we will be covering in our next draw, but expect us to be back online in about 10 to 15 minutes as we have to reset, prep our ice, program in the new team names, and find someone to comment for you.
And go tell all your Twitter followers to click the link and watch because it's fun. And I won't be talking, so you'll probably learn a lot more.
That's right. You and I will be playing.
We'll be on the ice.
Have a
Not on
good
the
day,
same team.
Have a good day, folks.
Hooray. You probably don't want to let me do that again. I tried to be good. I kept it clean. I didn't cuss.
It's tough. I mean, I've done it once or twice.
No,
Not here.
You want to sit down?
I have to play.
I thoroughly enjoy doing this. Like in my world, I should be constantly on the